Welcome back. Do you ever feel like no matter how much money you make or try to save, you just never have enough?
Yes.
Well, our next guest focuses on helping people make smart money decisions that will help them to be able to make a big purchase in the future. We welcome mortgage expert and author Elysia Stobbe. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So first of all, I am really interested to know, how did you become a money expert? Were you like a stingy little girl growing up?
I actually had an entrepreneurial spirit from early on. So when I was a kid, I was making all kinds of things and selling them.
So your hustle game been strong from way back in the day.
Yes, yes.
So did you watch a family member do this, or how did you know to even go after, being an entrepreneur or saving money?
Just I would watch things and read a lot and just like be a sponge to learn as much as I could about all different kinds of things and how you would make money, and keep money is actually the biggest piece of it.
Keep money, yeah,
yes,
exactly.
Keep money. Yeah.
Well, your book, it has an interesting title, How to Get Approved for the Best Mortgage.
The other part is without sticking a fork in your eye.
Right.
That's cool.
Thank you.
Because, I mean, you want to get approved for the best mortgage because you want to get approved for like $1 million house so you can get what you want. But of course, you've got to watch those things too. So tell us about this book.
Well, I've been helping people achieve the dream of home ownership for well over a decade now, and there's an easy way to do it, get approved for the mortgage, and there's a hard way to do it. So
we want the easy way.
Yes, so that's why I wrote the book. Also to elevate the level of professionalism in the industry, because I feel if you give people the right tools and information, it's their choice to use it, and they can shop for a much better mortgage. They know what they're getting into up front, the questions to ask, how they can save money, what's the best mortgage for them versus just what somebody tells them they can qualify for.
Wow, those are all great topics. So you actually have some tips to share with us to kind of help our viewers along if they're in the process or if they want to be in the process of this. So let's go ahead and jump into the tips you have. And the first one is know your income and outcome.
Yes, so these are financial tips. I've made millions, I've lost millions, unfortunately. I've made millions, so these are some of my best tips. So you know your income, know what exactly money you're making, because you can't do a budget without it. And it's like the typical roadmap. If you don't know where you are, how can you get to where you want to go?
And when you say income, I take it you're talking about net income, because you have that gross number on your check. But that's not what your paycheck is.
Not hardly. Not hardly.
Yes, and what are the different pieces going to? Do you have a health savings account that's tax deductible? Are you contributing to a 401k? What does your company offer? Do they match? There's so many different things. You just have to rip the Band-Aid off and really find out what you're taking home and what you keep and what you can spend.
Okay, number two, know what you're paying financially and what your return is. When you say what your return is, what do you mean?
So if you have a 401k or you have an IRA or a money market or a stock market, if you're fortunate enough to have those accounts set up, auto deduct is the best because then you don't have to think about it. But the other portions of that, or what are the fees that you're paying? There are so many hidden fees that they have these days with many, many financial institutions. So you really have to know what's disclosed, and then do a quarterly or annually review and find out what you're really keeping, and then what are you making? What is that return? Is that return 3%, 7%, 15% net of fees?
Wow. Okay, so the next, we want to get through these for sure. The next tip is file receipts. What do you mean?
So wait a minute, we can't just throw them out?
You can.
I don't think so.
Well, just say you're a mom with a home-based business and you have you could start your own business, you have resources, you have a hobby that you can create a business, you're able to save those receipts for anything, whether you have a W-2 job out of the house as a salesperson, definitely 1099. There are many instances where you can deduct these from your taxes, and of course check with a CPA.
Okay, what about setting a goal? I mean, would it be anything, or are you talking about how much you want to make, or what?
I look at long-term, what's my outcome? So when do I want to retire, and how long is it going to take me to get there, and how much do I have to make and save and make cash flow for me? Money while you sleep is a great thing, and there's lots of ways you can do it. There's all kinds of ideas that you can have that come back to you, but if you don't know the outcome, it's pointless. And the other part is too, get excited about it, because the bottom line is if you're thinking of financial freedom and you know what you want, then you can set it up so you can work backwards like a playbook. And the other part of it is too, the bottom line is you can still feel that way every day. If you know your outcome and you know how you're going to feel when you get there, just wake up and enjoy the journey.
So let me ask you this. What is the worst money habit you see people making over and over again?
Not having a budget and not even knowing what they're spending. I mean, you know, they didn't teach me how to budget, and they didn't teach me how to balance a checkbook in high school, but we don't even have to do that now because everything's online. You just look, this is the money I have. You know, so people just, it goes out, and then it's really hard if you don't do that forced savings to start with, you know, right off the bat, then the money's just going faster, faster, faster.
And let me ask you this, because, you know, earlier we had this story about women who will not date or marry a guy unless they make more than them. Now, you're a money person. So you're a person who grew up wanting to make her own money. How do you feel about when you hear women who have that opinion? Does it kind of make you sad, like you don't have to rely on him, or what are your thoughts?
Well, I think people should do their best to be self-reliant and then also give back. So if I was a woman in that situation, I mean, I would try to teach my man how to be financially free himself.
Let's
I mean, there's so many, I mean, there's so many other things that are just as important. Money's important. We need it to eat. We need it to put a roof over our heads.
Love doesn't pay the rent.
That's right. Exactly. So that's what I would suggest.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much for being here, Elysia. We certainly appreciate it. And for more information, you can visit bestmortgage.com. All right, coming up next, get your inner entrepreneur spirit ready. One Spark 2017 is just around the corner. We're getting all the details when we come back.